212.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we want to bring forth to the stage a very special guest, the undisputed.
Nah, son, baby. And this is another episode.
Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing.
And this is your host. Nah, son, baby. Here we go. So, can a woman ever control the man she's with? Either control or change the man she's with, but particularly, excuse me, control.
No, a woman cannot control a man, nor should she want to. I don't really understand why you'd ever want to control a man. I mean, you meet him a certain way, you know his personality, you can see the things that he like. You should want to be a part of his life, but not changing everything about his life. I don't understand why you'd want to do that. That's not particularly exciting to me. But I don't know, have you ever felt like you've had a woman that tried to change you or control you and manipulate? Because, you know, as women, sometimes we could be pretty manipulative. But if you can see through that, you can maneuver through that and get past that.
Well,
what are your thoughts on it?
They agree with what I'm about, they accept it, but then they try to change the game in the ninth inning. Talking about nah, at first it's a yay, then it becomes a nah, and you can't do that. You know, you lose somebody the same way you got them. In other words, you know, you got to accept the person who they are. You know, if you go in a strip club, if I go in a strip club and I use my money to bag this chick, okay, I got her, but I could lose her the same way. I could also lose her if another dude comes along and uses his cash. So I'm controlling her with the money, but that's not going to last long. So I'm answering your question from a male's perspective, trying to control a woman with finances, because there always somebody else could play big bank takes little bank. So you shouldn't try to control somebody. You should accept who they are and give them you know, be upfront instead of using tangibles to control them. But to bring it back to me, you know, they didn't accept who I am. So if you don't accept your partner, then you're going to lose that person the same way you got them. In other words, you're going to lose that person because you thought you could change this person, but you really can't. So if your man is a player and you knew he was a player, you got him, but you're going to lose him the same way, because he's going to do the same thing to you like he did to other women. Just like how if a man cheats on his wife and gets with you, who's to say he's not going to do the same thing to you? So you get somebody the same way. Well, you lose somebody the same way you got them. So no, you can't control anybody. People got to change for themselves instead of for you.
Now, I'd like to think that I could motivate or have some positive contributions to someone's life. I mean, these are the things that you would hope for and expect in someone's life, that I'm going to use your words, have added value to their life in some way, shape, or form. That feels good. But to really just, you know, manipulate, maneuver, he likes to go out every Friday. You met him doing that. He goes out, he drinks beers with the fellas, and then all of a sudden, now you want to change the game. Now on Fridays, you're like, no, I want you here with me, and I'm having an event or something, and you're doing little things to make sure that his Fridays don't end up at the bar where he usually goes every Friday. If that's what he likes, that's what he likes. I mean, he liked you regardless of the fact that he went to the bar every Friday. So, I mean, I don't imagine why you would even need that to change. If that's something small, a small trinket that makes him happy, I think that's what your goal is. I mean, you want him to be equally as happy as you are in a relationship. Nor would you like a man to manipulate you. If you're used to hanging out with your girlfriends all the time, or not even all the time, like you have certain times for which you have spend time with your girlfriends, then you want to continue in that path. You don't want him to come in and be like, oh, I got something for us to do. you can't do that, next Friday because, I'm taking you out. You don't want him to do that when you're trying to get with your girlfriend. So it's the same type of, the same things that you want and you hope to receive in a relationship are the things that I hope that you would want to give out. But most of all, I don't think that anyone should want to or have a desire to control a man. There's nothing good about controlling him.
But how you ever try to control a man?
No, I don't see how I benefit from that. I don't see how. I mean, if I'm even able to manipulate him and get him to do everything that I want him to do, I don't even think I'm going to have respect for him after that because I don't want a puppet, I want a man who stands his ground, who has strong feelings about and convictions about whatever direction he's going in his life. So if he just bow down to everything that I say, I feel like he's not strong enough in his own beliefs.
Well, there are different ways that you can try to control a man. You can control him financially. You can control him sexually. You can control him with a child. You could control him by the way of marriage. You can control.
Try. These are ways you could try.
Yeah, so you could try to control him sexually, financially, mentally, emotionally, with a child. Use marriage. Try to not get a prenup. Try to make sure that his finances are tied to you. So there are plenty of ways to control a man. You could play upon his insecurities. By being that comfort zone. He thinks that you being genuine about your comfort, about your empathy, about your warmth, care, and compassion towards him, but you pretty much using that so he could be dependent on you mentally and emotionally. So,
but once again,
that's manipulative.
I still should not be able to control him. I mean, I know there's a million ways to control or try to control a man. But I don't want him that way. That is not sexy to me. That's not inviting to me. I want a strong man who's strong in his convictions and know what he's doing, know what he wants, and is able to avoid any of those tricks. So the man that I want is strong enough to see that coming and to walk away from all of that stuff and to stay strong with what he feels and what he believes.
So, you telling me that you never controlled a man before?
Absolutely not. I have never controlled a man, nor do I desire to control a man. And I don't want a man. I'm not interested at all in having a man that I can control.
So have you ever been across a beta male who wanted to be controlled?
I don't know. That's quite possible. But that doesn't work well for me. If I am way too dominant or feel like I'm dominating your entire life or lifestyle, that's not fun for me. So that's not something I wouldn't continue in that path or that direction.
Why not? Don't you want this woman power that I'm a woman, hear me roar? Don't you want to use him as a form of get back at the feeling oppressed by men? Doesn't it feel good that, all of a sudden the rabbit has the gun and not the hunter?
I never feel oppressed by men, but I'm just saying, no, I don't want that. I don't have a desire to control a man in any way, shape, or form.
So you feel secure in your femininity because
Absolutely.
A lot of women have delight in controlling men because they may be insecure, they may be the jealous types, they may be envious. They want to matter. They want power.
Well, I have strong feelings as it pertains to myself. I'm very convicted in many of the things that I feel as they pertain to my own life. But I feel like he can work with what he feels is best. I feel like my opinion should be valued, but not always utilized. I mean, there's a difference between controlling and being, like I said, adding value to his life. I mean, I could be helpful without having him be dependent on me. And it doesn't feel good to be. It's nice to have a strong opinion. It's nice for someone to value what you have to say, but there's nothing cute about someone who just listens to everything you say and just do it. That's not cute.
Because that person doesn't have a backbone.
Right. They don't have a backbone. They don't have strong opinions of themselves. And that surfaces, other problems surface as a result of the fact that they're not strong in their own thoughts.
Because if you could easily control him, who's to say that somebody else can't?
Right.
You know, and,
Exactly.
And that's not a good look because he's pretty much a puppet. You know, everybody could be his puppet master.
Right.
And they could steer you away from him.
Exactly. Because someone could put thoughts in his head. I need him to be strong in what he feels and what he thinks. And I appreciate when my opinion is valued, but valuing my opinion doesn't mean that you always have to do things exactly how I say it.
It reminds me of Marco Polo when he said that war is fought on all fronts. So if people could conquer your man's mind, then the relationship is a wrap.
Right. So I feel strongly that it's not necessary. I don't want to. I want them to marinate on the things that I say. I want them to value me as a person, but I don't have a desire to control a man, period.
You want him to function in his manhood and his natural state.
Yes, that's very sexy.
All right. And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark. And this is your host, Not Son, baby. Check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinger Manifesto. That's You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinger Manifesto. Go get it. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. And also check out the new book, Fuck. Yes, Fuck. F-U-C-K. Yes, you heard it right, man. F-U-C-K is the sequel to You, Me, Us, Them. And it's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. You dig? Go get it. And shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. Swingpodcast@gmail.com. And shoot me with any questions or concerns that you may have. And subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to all the platforms, the stream sites, you know. Subscribe, leave a comment, rate it, review, whatever the case, whatever makes you feel fuzzy and warm inside. Yeah, dig. And on that note, until next time, peace.